Let's add a sheet template file to our project template. So in the previous discussion, we looked at the project navigator information, how to set up the constructs, the views, but we did not get into the sheets. We started with the sheet categories or groups here, but we didn't get into actually setting a template file for that. So let's get going on that. I'll set this back to projects up here. So to begin with, you'll need to create a sheet configuration. So I'll go to File, New, and we'll jump to the template file we created in the previous discussion. And we had this under a new folder called Drawing Templates, and here it is. We'll use that because it's already been set up mostly for everything we need, with the exception of we need to go down to the tab, if you have a tab, and let's go ahead and rename that to 24 by 36. Of course, you could do it for larger, 11 by 17, different scales, whatever you need for your standard sheet size. And I'm going to go ahead and do a page setup manager change to it. I'm going to change this now to a D size sheet of paper, 36 by 24. And everything here should be good, but just look it over. Make sure this is all okay. All right, and so this is just the default viewport, which I'll just move into the center for now. So here's my sheet. What it's missing now is title block information. So I've done a mock-up over here of what I'd like to put in there. So you could, if you have one, you can use it. If you don't, you can draw one now. And the outer edge here is the 24 by 36, so that lets me know that it's sitting on the sheet correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. And I'm going to paste it in over here. And I'm going to paste it by zooming in because you cannot snap to the sheet itself. There is nothing there, no objects. So there's nothing to snap to. So I'm just going to eyeball that into place. And that looks good. What I'm paying attention to is that everything falls within the printable border. And it does. So this is all looking pretty good. Now these are just regular lines or polylines with width on them and just regular text. There's nothing fancy happening yet. Company name and so forth. So we've got this sheet set up. What I would do now is take the default viewport and place it where I think I'm most likely going to use it on most of my sheets. Probably something like that. Jump inside and preset my scale, and I'll put the lock on that, and also activate these three icons down here for the scaling, the annotative scaling, and I think that's pretty good to get started. So before I go ahead and, well, I could save this now. We could do a file, save as, and we'll go back to this folder we created in the previous discussion. Archidime is the name I used. We'll go to the drawing templates, and we'll go ahead and we should set this to template actually. Let's go to this to template. Where is template here? There we go. And then go back. It'll jump out when you do that. And you should see this. So we're going to use similar name, but instead of general, I'm going to call this sheet. And I'm going to write 24 by 36. And that should be enough. Some people recognize this as a D sheet, so you might want to put D in there, but this should be pretty good here. That's the information I want. So I know it's a sheet versus a general. And we'll just go ahead and hit OK here. All right, so now we want to populate this title block with information that we can derive from the project navigator. And that information would probably be something like the project name and address. And then we'll take a look at the automated sheet numbering and the drawing title information. So let's go up here to the project navigator. Now I'm still in my template, my project template. So I'm continuing to configure this. I'm going to go up here and click on the current project little icon here for details, and go down to the detailed information icon. Click on that, and you should see a default group name and a default data name. So we'll go ahead and, or detail name. We'll go ahead and add two new ones, and then we'll get rid of this stuff. So the first new category that I would include is something like title block. Let's see, title block information. All right, and another group that I would add would be project data. All right. Oh, I misspelled that one. Let's do that again. Project data. All right. Then we'll work on here. I'm going to highlight title block information, and we'll go ahead and add some details. So the first detail would be project name, and the next bit of detail would be project address, line 1. I'll go ahead and highlight that and copy that and do another one underneath it and make it address number 2. And then up here I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to get rid of these are the unnamed default things in there. Under project data, I'm going to go ahead and add AP number. Now if you need the AP number below your address lines, you could just pull it from this different category. Another thing I would add to project data would be something like building type, and let's see what else. I would add zoning, and so on. I'm not going to think of all the different things that I would add in there. And so most important for right now would be these 3 up here, the project name, the address. So I'll hit OK. You can always come back and add more information. And OK. So back on the template sheet, you can now go ahead and do your mtext. So I type in MT. I'm going to go ahead and pick a first point. I'm going to do a W. I'm going to set it to 0. So the width is 0. And if I zoom down, I should be able to right click in there. I lost it. Let's do that again. mtext here, width 0. I'll just put a letter in there. It always makes it easier if you just have a letter, and we'll get rid of the letter. Then right click and go to insert field. So now if you go up to the field category and come down to, let's see here, it's AEC project, you should be able to see project details, and the information you added should now show up. So what I want on this first line is title block information, project name, and I want it capitalized. All right. And then I'm going to go in here, I'm going to back out that little D, and now I'm going to go to my properties palette, and let's see here. What I want to do is I want to set it on a, not there, I want a layer. Where's the layer? Here we go. No, there's a layer. Here. I want to set it on the title block. Let's see, what do I have? Logo and text. Okay, that's where I want it. And I don't want it to be that. I want to have my own font, medium, and I want it 1/4 inch. And we'll just go ahead now. Oh, and let's go top left looks good. We'll just rotate that. And then go ahead and line it up here. And I'm going to go ahead and just pull it down. So that's 1/8 down. That's probably pretty good. And now I'm going to go ahead and just copy that text down. And I'm going to copy it down, let's say 0.5. Double click on it. And double click again. And I'm going to make this one address line 1. And enter. Now I'll pick on this, and I'll change the height to be 1/8. And now I'll copy that down. Probably, let's see here. Let's do 9/32. All right, and then double click and set this for line 2. Okay. Now if you're making this and you're uncomfortable, you're not sure that you're getting the proper information showing up here, and you don't want to run through the whole process of testing it, you can just return to your project navigator and go to that detail area, and you can put in some default information. Like here I could put in, like for example, let's do residential project. And address line 1, I I don't know, what would I do here? I would just go address 1, and then maybe address 2. That way you'll see some information show up. All right. And if I do now a REA, that information will show. So this is telling you that it's actually pulling that data, and now you can see if you've spaced things correctly. So this will always read, as when you start a project, you'll see some default information in there. If you don't want that kind of stuff, go back and take that default information out. Okay, so the other stuff that we need to take a look at is issued for. Let's go ahead and do that then. So we'll go back, and this would probably be in the title block information. So I would do issued for line 1, and I'll go ahead and copy that and do another one and make that a 2, and another one and make that a 3, and one more and make that a 4. Okay, so we've got that. All right. And I'll go ahead and just copy one of these lines down because it's the right size. Rotate that into place. Bring it up here. And now bring it down, let's say 1/8. And then maybe over about 3/8. And then I'm going to copy this down. Let's see, how far do I want that? About 30 seconds. And do the same. And I'll copy this one here, from here to there. And then just set each of these. So this one is going to be issued for 1. Double click. And this will be issued for 2. And double click. Line 3. And then the final one. So this allows for up to 4 issued for, and of course you can continue adding on more if you need to. And so the next thing we need to do is take a look at the date. So we can go ahead and we can do some, let's see, I think we can copy this down here and then move that over to, let's say, 0.5. Double click. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to change. Let's see here. If we go here, yeah, that's fine. Just double click on it a couple times until you get here. But we're going to change this. This is not pulling data anymore from the AEC project. This is pulling data now from date and time. All right. So I like, unlike a lot of people, I like to actually put my plot date in here. Some people want a fixed date, so maybe you can set it up differently. But I'm going to go ahead and do my plot date, and I'll pick the very top example here because it's short. And, okay. And for this, I think I want to match. So this should say bottom left, and it should match with this over here. So if I go like that, and then move it back over 0.5, that looks pretty good. Now I'll go ahead and copy that down from here to here, and this should probably be moved. If I move these over, it'll look nicer. If I move them over 1/8, yeah. Double click here. Now for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this again to objects, and I will select object here, and then I'll use this icon right here to select an object, which will be my default viewport. And then I'll go ahead and set this to, let's see, what do we have here? We have, I thought there was custom, and yeah, custom scale tends to work out well. So I want this format here, right? All right. And then for drawing title, we're going to do. Let's see. We'll go ahead and copy this down, and I'll bring it down about 3/4 of an inch, 0.75, Okay, for this one I'm going to want, I'll probably keep the same size. So we'll go ahead and just double click and double click. Now we're going to go back to let's see, what do we have? Project number. No, what we want here is we want, where is it? Where is it? Sheet set. There we go. We want sheet set for this because it's going to read it out of the sheet set area. And then we want current sheet title. That's the one. And probably in uppercase. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right. And I'll click on this, and then I'm going to go ahead and set the width here will be the width of this line. Because I don't want that text, if the title becomes long, I don't want it to go way beyond this line. So I'll go ahead, I know this is 2 inches, so I'm going to set the width to 2 inches. All right, and then I will go ahead and set this to probably middle, let's see here, middle, how about top center? And then bring this over and line it up with this. There we go. That should work out pretty well. And then the final thing is we go ahead and we can copy this down. We'll use the same centering, but I'm going to bring this down 1 7/8. I'm going to make this a whole different font. I want this the bold, and I want this probably 1/4. Maybe even bigger, maybe 0.5. Yeah, I mean, you have to think about what you can get away with. I'm going to do, okay, there's a 1.0, that kind of a thing. It depends on how many characters you're trying to squeeze in there. And then we're going to go ahead and double click now, double click again, and we do want current, we want the sheet set, but we want the current, let's see here, there should be a number. Sheet set. There we go. Current sheet number, uppercase. All right, and then that should take care of it. Now just make sure everything is on the right layer. That looks good. You know, I probably want this a little bit bigger. So this is an 1/8. Let's do 3/16. Yeah, that looks better. All right. And that's it. So now a bunch of information has been programmed into the title block, and it will automatically feed itself when you use it as a template file. So let's go ahead and save that work. And then down here where you have, I've left this information in there, review only, not for construction. As a reminder that if you want that type of information, you should probably create another category for that. So we can go ahead and do that. We'll jump here. And we'll go back, detailed information, and we'll probably put that here under the title block information, or a new category could be sheet information, but I'll just put review only or something, whatever I want to call that down there, and I'll leave it blank, review only, and okay. And I'll go ahead and I'll copy this information over here. Now for this, I'll probably want a lower left, so we'll go to lower bottom left, and I'll put it right into that corner, like that, and I'll get rid of this. Okay, and so we've got all of that information. Now I'll go ahead and save that. So this should be a functioning sheet right now, and what we need to do is we need to just wrap it up. So this is all looking pretty good, and I'll just go ahead and do a save, and then I'll go ahead and close it, and I'll leave that up there. That's fine. Now we'll go and set it up in the Project Navigator. Okay, and then we'll go down here where it says Sheet Template, and we're going to go ahead and now point it to that new template file. So that was on C, company name, drawing templates, and then this is why we name it Sheet, so we can identify that as Sheet. And we say Open, and it only has the one tab configuration, so that's all good. And we'll hit OK and apply. Sure, that's fine, because this is the template file I'm still working on. And I'll hit OK. All right, and now if this all this programming worked correctly, if we go over to the sheets and we go right here to the top category under properties, you should see that same template file now referenced in here. So we'll pull this over, and you can see there it's got that information. See, it says right here that it's the 24 by 36 inch tab, and it's pointing to your sheet. So that's all configured now. When you when you create a new sheet using this project template, it will bring in that particular sheet now for you. So for example, if you, under these categories here, if I did this one here and did a right click and I said new sheet, it will bring that in. So if I just go ahead and do it now, I don't like to do it on a template file because that's adding junk to your template file, but just as a demonstration here, I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll call it A 2.1, and how about something like second, let's do it, floor plan. All right, and then you see the information pop in. Oh, I made a mistake down here. Oh, I didn't set that in the template file. I copied it, but I didn't set what it was going for. But that's fine. We'll fix that. And then you can see here it's squeezed that in, and it's got the number for you. It's got this viewport scale in here, and it hasn't been issued and it hasn't been plotted, and we haven't set the address information, but it's all functioning the way it should. So now that I've seen that it has a problem, let's go ahead and fix that. Let's see, we'll go back to we'll open. For open, we'll set this to template file, and then we'll go back to the C company name templates here, and we want the sheet. We want to pull that up. Okay, and then we can jump down here, double click, and double click again. And what we want for this, we want to set this back to project. We want to go to project details, and right here we should see review only, or whatever you call that statement, and then OK. And now save that information. Make sure it's in DWT up here. You're saving your template file. Okay, I probably should have saved it like this, and then close that up. And of course this one is this is a bogus one now, so we'll just go ahead and get rid of that. And I can pull that out of here now. I can just delete it. Yes. Okay. And if I do a new one, I'll just do a new sheet. And this one here, we'll call it A 3.0, and elevations. All right, so this is all looking good. All right. And it says elevations in there, and it has the name down here on the tab. This is all perfect. Yeah, so let's do a preview on the printing. All right, so if you don't want to see any of this information down here, we'll talk about what you can do to remove that information in the next discussion on advanced title block information for your sheet templates. So this is the first part, and then I'll do the more advanced. But what you have here is a functioning title block and a sheet template for a project template. But be aware that these are free-floating pieces of text, and I do get files from people who have their title blocks done like this, and it drives me absolutely crazy because you can just accidentally move some of this stuff, or you can accidentally just erase one of those pieces, and then you have to work to put it all back together. So in the next discussion, which will be more advanced stuff, we'll block that information, and we'll use attributes. And then we'll clear out this kind of stuff here where it's just doing a default. Of course, you can always put a dot in there if you just want the smallest default information. But this concludes the first part of this title block information and sheet template, and we'll start another one for the more advanced stuff.